Welcome back to Narcissist Unmasked. Today we're diving into an intriguing question that many people ask after experiencing or observing narcissistic behavior. How do narcissists end up eventually? Whether you're dealing with a narcissist in your personal life or just curious about where this kind of personality often leads, understanding the longer-term trajectory of narcissists can provide insight, clarity, and perhaps even closure. So let's explore what typically happens to narcissists as time goes on and how their choices shape their lives over the years. Narcissists often begin life with high levels of confidence, ambition, and a certain charm that draws people to them. They may appear successful, even charismatic in their youth or early adulthood. But as they age, the cracks in their behavior often start to show. Why? Because narcissists rely on external validation, things like admiration, control, and manipulation to feel good about themselves. And over time, this reliance on narcissistic supply can lead to a cycle of unhealthy, deteriorating relationships. Imagine a person who uses others consistently to meet their own needs, disregarding others' feelings or well-being. Over time, people begin to see through their behavior. Friends, family, and even romantic partners become less willing to tolerate the narcissist's constant manipulation and demands. By middle age, many narcissists start losing these valuable sources of supply, either because people distance themselves or because their own demands become too exhausting for others to fulfill. This isolation can be profound. As narcissists age, they may lose the network of people who once admired or depended on them. They start to face the consequences of pushing others away. Their inflated ego may prevent them from understanding why they're alone, so they may continue to blame others. But the reality of isolation begins to sink in. One of the major risks narcissists face as they age is what's known as a narcissistic collapse. This is a psychological and emotional breakdown that can occur when a narcissist's self-image and sense of control are challenged or shattered. For some, the loss of relationships, career failures, or even health problems can cause a sudden and painful confrontation with reality. When a narcissist collapses, they may become highly withdrawn, angry, or even experience symptoms of depression or anxiety. They often try to cling to the few remaining people around them, becoming more dependent and controlling than ever. The collapse can be devastating as their coping mechanisms, manipulation, charm, or intimidation, no longer work as effectively. They may lose the charisma that once helped them secure admiration, and as a result, they face an identity crisis. During this phase, they may display anger, resentment, or self-pity. They might act out in irrational ways, lash out at others, or attempt to manipulate people more aggressively, as if desperately trying to regain control. But by this point, most people have either distanced themselves or set strong boundaries, which only intensifies the narcissist's feelings of helplessness. In the end, the narcissistic collapse serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of their constructed self-image. It is a moment of reckoning, offering a chance for introspection and, perhaps, a path to genuine self-awareness. As narcissists grow older, health issues can also emerge. Interestingly, studies show that chronic emotional turmoil, anger, and the stress of manipulating others can lead to both physical and mental health problems. High blood pressure, cardiovascular issues, and even an increased risk of certain mental illnesses are common among people with narcissistic traits. Since narcissists are often poor at self-care, they prioritize looking good over being genuinely healthy. They may neglect their own health, avoid regular checkups, or ignore symptoms until it's too late. The declining physical health often adds another layer of insecurity and vulnerability. Narcissists may become increasingly demanding of the few people left in their lives, expecting constant care and attention, which can drive people even further away. Another common challenge narcissists face as they age is financial instability. Narcissists may spend lavishly to maintain an appearance of success or indulge themselves with expensive things as a way of reinforcing their superiority. However, without a stable network or strong long-term planning, they often lack the resources to sustain this lifestyle in their later years. Many narcissists fail to secure long-term investments or savings. They might rely on partners, family, or others to support them financially, expecting to be taken care of. But as their connections fade, they may find themselves struggling financially, facing debt, or even depending on social services. Relationships for narcissists typically deteriorate as they age. Friends, family, and past partners often distance themselves as the narcissist's manipulative patterns become more apparent. Romantic relationships, if they exist, are often marked by dysfunction, as few people can sustain the emotional toll of being with a narcissist long term. Without meaningful relationships, narcissists often feel increasingly isolated. They may attempt to reconnect with family members or old friends out of desperation, but by this time, people are often wary of getting involved again. This isolation can reinforce their sense of victimhood, making them bitter and resentful. They may retreat into self-pity, convinced that the world has wronged them. As narcissists age, they often experience a painful realization. Despite all their attempts to secure admiration and control, they are largely alone and unfulfilled. Some may start to regret their actions, though true self-reflection is rare for narcissists. Instead, they might blame others for their failures, remaining trapped in a cycle of bitterness and resentment. Some narcissists become resentful of those who moved on, resenting others' happiness or success. This bitterness can lead to increasing anger, and they might even try to sabotage the happiness of others out of spite. The sad irony is that they often continue repeating the same toxic behaviors, which only perpetuates their isolation and unhappiness. So, how do narcissists end up eventually? Many find themselves facing a lonely and isolated existence, a life filled with regret, bitterness, and in some cases, financial and health struggles. Narcissists rarely reach true fulfillment because they rely on others to fill an internal emptiness that only grows over time. For those affected by a narcissist, it can be painful to see how their choices affect them over the years, but it's also a reminder that accountability and genuine self-reflection are essential for meaningful connections and happiness in life. If you or someone you know is dealing with narcissistic behavior, remember, support and recovery are possible. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to Narcissist Unmasked for more content on understanding and dealing with narcissistic behavior. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, knowledge is power.